Now we are good to move to the second topic, that is storage services. Okay, so we have moved to the module 3. So till now we have discussed elastic network interface, difference between public and elastic IP. We have discussed difference between shared and dedicated tenancy. Then we have discussed AMI, security groups and key pairs. Now, what is the agenda for module 3? What all we will be discovering, we will be discussing in storage services. So first of all, we will discuss traditional storage, what used to happen like 10-15 years back. Then we will discuss about disadvantages of traditional storage. Finally, we will come to the modern storage, that is cloud storage like Dropbox, Google Drive, S3. We will discuss the types of AWS storage. Then we will jump over to the various AWS services like Snowball, Storage Gateway, EBS, Glacier, S3, and we will also discuss command line interface as well.
They are the Amazon storage, right? All of them.
Yeah, so basically what I want to say is this EC2 instance, if you don't need it, just terminate it. Okay, otherwise not good. If you don't need anything on AWS, make sure that you terminate it then and there. Okay, now this EC2 instance we just now created using AWS Management Console. There will be times when you are working in real world, your manager will come to you and tell you that, hey mate, what you have got to do is you do not have access to AWS Management Console. You do one thing, you create one EC2 instance from command line interface using the Linux command. So how will you go about it? So let me show you with the AWS CLI how you can create one EC2 instance. It's quite interesting. So let me show you right now. Okay, all you have to do is go to command prompt on your computer, CMD, and we require two softwares. One is AWS CLI. So you go to Google and type AWS CLI install. So this is basically a software that is required to integrate Amazon Web Services console with your command line. Okay, so all we have to do is install the AWS CLI for Microsoft Windows. You can go, if you are using Macintosh, you can go with the third option. If you are using Linux, you can go with the first option. So I'm using Windows, so I will go with the second option, and I will go to MSI installer and download the MSI installer for Windows 64-bit, because right now I'm using Windows 64-bit, and download it. Fortunately, I already have got it. So let me show you control panel and all the programs I have. So you can see that I have AWS command line interface, which is 86 MB file. So I can check it in the command prompt as well, AWS version, and it's gonna show me AWS version. Doesn't like it. AWS configure. Okay, that's okay. So all I have to do is yeah, now it's showing. So AWS version is AWS CLI is installed right now. So one software is AWS, and the other one that you require is Python. So you go ahead and you download Python download. So we want to install 2.7.13 because that is compatible with AWS.
So we need to download it.
Yes, we need to download it and install it on your computer.
Okay.
And once you have installed, you can go here and type Python version. Python. Yeah. So currently Python 2.7.13 is installed on my computer. Okay. So these two softwares are needed. One is Python, and other one is AWS CLI. So we will begin with creating a security group because that's most important. So we will issue one command that is AWS configure. If I go, it's asking for access key ID. So where do I get it from? So in AWS management console, if I go inside IAM, identity and access management, and then I go into access keys, security credentials, and access key. So create new access key. So this is the access key ID which is necessary to link AWS with command line. I paste it here. Oh no, so I need this. Okay, so this is good. Secret access key, I will keep it from here and paste it. And I am in which region right now? North Virginia. So what is North Virginia called as? AWS US East. So we can check it from EC2. So we are in US East 1. So I will simply say US East 1. Okay, and that is the region. And default output format, I can keep it to JSON, that is JavaScript object notification. I'm okay with it. So now I have linked command line interface with AWS. Now let us create our first security group. Command will be AWS EC2 create security group, and the group name will be my security group 1, and the description will be I can put a note like my first SG. Okay, and hit enter. So if I go in here in AWS management console and go to EC2, okay, it's a bit slow. So no, I did not. Okay, so you go into security groups, and this is what we have just now created, my SG1, my first security group, but there is no inbound rule. Outbound rule is set to all traffic. So let us go ahead and create the inbound rule. So the command will be AWS EC2 describe security groups, and the group name will be my SG1. So right now you can see that ingress means inbound and outgress means outbound. So right now nothing described in ingress. So egress means outbound. So outbound is defined, but inbound is not defined. So let us quickly go ahead and define the inbound rule. So the command will be AWS EC2 authorize security group ingress. Group name will be my SG1, and the protocol will be TCP. What TCP? That works on port number 22, and it should be enabled from anywhere on the internet. So the IP address of internet is 0.0.0.0/0. Okay, so that is the IP address of internet. So now you see that if I go here and refresh it, so SSH is enabled because of that command. So similarly, let us enable HTTP as well. So where does HTTP work? Port number 80. So now if I refresh, HTTP is there, and we also want to enable HTTPS. So for HTTPS, port number is 44443, and if I refresh it, HTTPS is also there. So the security group has been done.